everybody. Let's go ahead and get started with the load board report. We're going to be real quick here this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, you didn't have sound because I was talking on the phone. You should have sound now. All right. Y'all give me a moment. What did I do with my... I'm trying to figure out what happened to my stuff. Y'all give me a moment. I'm missing some stuff here. What happened to my Zoom meeting stuff? Okay, I got that. Just okay. I don't know why that was missing. Okay. You all should be able to hear me just fine. All right, testing. All right. All right. Everyone should be able to hear me just fine. When a phone call comes in, because I'm using my remote headset that's connected to my computer and is also connected. Mr. Sears, you need to turn one of your mics off. Either turn the computer sound down or mute your mic because you got me on a feedback. You're both on YouTube and you're in the live. So turn one of them off. Mr. Sears, you got me on a feedback. You're both on YouTube and you're Mr. Sears, you need to turn one of your mics off. Either mute your mic on the live or turn off YouTube, one or the other. If you're gonna come on and you're gonna be both in the Zoom live and on YouTube, you gotta turn one of them, the sound completely off on one of them. Because if you do that, I'm gonna be hearing myself talk back to myself like a few seconds later, and it's very, so you need to turn one of them off, because if you don't, you're creating a feedback loop. Okay. All right, great. Yeah, because if you don't turn one of them off, you're gonna create a feedback loop, and that's gonna cause like just a reboot of the sound in my headset. All right, let's get started real quick. This is gonna be very quick. This is not gonna be a very long load board report because I've got a private consultation that's scheduled. As y'all can see, I've got another thing I got to do. I'm at 11, and then on top of that, we just signed a brokerage firm to a consulting agreement. So we are now partners within a brokerage firm, and we're going to be working to get them up and going. So I'm going to be kind of working with them all day today, or working on their stuff today to try and get them their first few shippers, and we got to put together the hiring campaign and the recruiting campaign to recruit them some agents for their company. Okay, so let's go ahead and start sharing my screen. And let's go ahead and get into the load board report. All right, remember, the load board report is a daily review of what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. This is all sponsored by the RBBS Logistics Learning Center, which is our vocational school, and our online platform, which is the RBBS National Dispatchers Network, and our online training platform where we train dispatchers and freight brokers to earn more than $100K per year dispatching and brokering freight from home. All right, as always, we are on our go-to load board, one of the load boards that we provide access to our students to. So our students don't pay for load board access because we pay for it. And this is one of our go-to load boards, which is direct freight. So that's where our load board report is coming from today. Let's take a look at our map. All right. What we got going on today in in your neck of the woods or in your part of the country when it comes to freight and load availability. The load count is actually pretty decent. It's I know I'm gonna let y'all in on something. The load count usually, like when I looked at it last night, it was a lot of loads, a lot of loads. And now from 4 a.m. until about 6 a.m., there's a lot of loads on the load boards. Okay, more than what you see here. Okay, but after 8 a.m., it kind of goes back down a little bit. Why? Because everybody just getting up in the morning, people are booking freight. You got carriers booking freight, you got dispatchers booking freight, you got a whole lot of people who are within this industry who are booking freight between that 6 a.m. and that 9 a.m., that 6 and 8 a.m. period of time. So usually by the time you get to 9 or 10 a.m., it starts to dwindle down a little bit. So that's where we are right now. The time now is 9:31. So let's go ahead and do our load count. All right, in California today, we have 1,244 loads showing available in California. In Oregon, we have 343 loads. Washington State, there's 744 loads. Idaho, looks like there's 277 loads being reported in Idaho. Nevada's checking in with 186 loads. Arizona has 280 loads. Utah, 478 loads this morning. Wyoming, 73 loads. Montana, 93 loads. North Dakota, 67 loads. South Dakota, 110 loads. Nebraska, 199 loads this morning. Kansas, 272 loads. Oklahoma, 166 loads. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something. You all notice how everything that is west of this line right here, okay? Everything that's west of this line, with the exception of Texas and California, the load count is not nearly as good as everything that is east of that line, and everything that is northeast is not as good as everything that is southeast. Okay, so this line right here is the dividing line on the more accessible loads. Now Texas falls pretty much on the east side, and California is going to be the exception. But if you got carriers that are west of this line, west of Minnesota, west of Iowa, west of Iowa, west of Missouri, west of Arkansas, west of Louisiana and Texas, chances are you're going to have a difficult time finding them some freight, because the freight count is not nearly as good as it is over here on the east and especially the southeast. Okay, now the concentration of loads in the northeast is going to be in the in this little stretch right here, in the Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Okay, but when you come down here to this southeast, the load count is good. You got good load counts down here. Okay, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Texas, all that stuff is good load count. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's just something for y'all to keep in mind. All right, now we're jumping over here to the east over here, east west. So Texas, 1,966 loads, always great load count in the state of Texas. Louisiana, 560 loads. Arkansas, 765 loads. Missouri, 541 loads. Iowa, 294 loads. Wisconsin, 639 loads. Minnesota, 395 and 94 loads. Michigan, 580 loads. Illinois, 1,350 loads. Tennessee, 613 loads. Mississippi, 641 loads. Alabama, 1,291 loads. Florida, 658 loads this morning. Georgia, checking in with 1,128 loads. South Carolina, 551 loads. Tennessee, 613 loads. North Carolina, we got to refresh here, Tennessee, 619 loads. North Carolina, 557 loads. Kentucky, 841 loads. If you're looking at Indiana, 756 loads. Ohio, 882 loads. Michigan, 575 loads. Jump up here to Maine. In Maine, we have 207 loads. New Hampshire, 18 loads. Vermont, 36 loads. Massachusetts, 377 loads. Rhode Island, 17 loads. Connecticut, 72 loads. New York, 658 loads. New Jersey, 522 loads. Delaware, 64 loads. Maryland, 369 loads. Pennsylvania, 997 loads. If I haven't mentioned Ohio, 882 loads this morning. Indiana, 756. Illinois, 1,347 loads. West Virginia, I don't know if we talked about that. We got 179 loads. Virginia, 469. Yeah, we did talk about those. And we got down here to Kentucky, Tennessee, and all those areas right there. So that's what it looks like as far as the load count. And of course, over here in Alaska, in Super Trucker land, Super Trucker state, they're showing 2 loads this morning. So there's your load count this morning. As far as what's going on in the country and your neck of the woods. Now remember, if you got carriers that are over here, like I said, that are west of this line, chances are you're gonna have a difficult time finding them freight, with the exception of California and maybe Utah got quite a bit of loads. But see, here's the thing about this area over here. You all notice that everything past this line right here, these states are big states. There's a lot of land mass. These states are considerably larger than the states that are in the east. And they have less load count. The states that are in the east are considerably smaller and have considerably larger load count. This is the other contributing factor that makes it easier to run your carriers in the eastern part of the country, okay, versus the western part of the country. Because in the western part of the country, you have large states, large land mass to cover, more miles to run, but less loads. Okay, so chances are, if you find a load, they've got to drive longer deadheads to get to a load after they drop a load. That's why it's so much easier when you're running your carriers on this side of that line. Now, I don't know if anyone ever made that distinction for you all, but this is what I do for a living. I evaluate load boards, and this is part of how I'm able to find my carriers get paid freight, because I became a student of analyzing and evaluating load boards. All right, let's check in with our people on YouTube. We have Mr. James Sears on YouTube. He's also with us in our live studio on Zoom this morning. We have Miss Lotus Lifestyle. I don't know if you've ever been on our program, but thank you for joining us this morning. Good morning. We have DJ2 Real. I know you've been here once or twice before. Good morning. We have Janice Chambers. Good morning. Damon Stevens, Darren, my business partner over at RBBS LLC Corporate Consultant, is with us this morning on YouTube this morning. And DJ2 Real has a question or a statement for us. Hey, Mr. Calvin, what gave you the confidence to start your own dispatch firm? I was homeless. Hey, look, nothing gives you more confidence than being at your, being at the end of your rope. Okay, nothing gives you more confidence. Look, sometimes, a lot of times, the most profitable, the most beneficial, and most millionaires started their journey when they was at the bottom of their rope, when it was at the bottom of the barrel. They had nothing left to lose. They couldn't go anywhere else but up. And but instead of giving up, they decided to try something different. They decided to step out into an area that was uncomfortable. See, it's comfortable to go get a job, a job. That's comfortable. Okay, that's comfortable. That's comfortable. It's comfortable to go get a job. It's comfortable to have someone else in charge of your revenue. That's comfortable. Okay. What is uncomfortable is taking charge of your own life and taking charge of your own revenue, taking charge of your own financial future. That's the uncomfortable part. But the greatest rewards are created in those uncomfortable situations. Okay. If you're on the fence, you got to get off the fence. I put out something that said, a long time ago when I first, got the homeless shelter, when I started doing my thing with the different businesses and stuff that I was starting, and they got me out the homeless shelter. I did a thing on my diaries of a homeless entrepreneur YouTube channel, and I stated that in order to be successful, okay, there's one thing you got to do. You got to get off the fence. Or another way of saying it that I put out in a YouTube statement, the only way to succeed in business is to be in business. Okay? You are never, ever, 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 ever going to be successful at anything until you get in it. If you're thinking about starting your own business, if you're praying about starting your own business, if you're researching starting your own business, if you're watching YouTube videos about starting your own business, if you're, surfing Google about starting your own business, if you're attending business conferences about starting your own business, guess what? You ain't gonna never be successful at running a business until you get in business. All that stuff is great, but it don't mean a hill of beans. It don't mean jack. It don't mean squat until you take that step and get in business. Okay? You cannot be successful sitting on the sidelines thinking, talking, planning, praying, all that stuff about being in business. It's never going to happen for you. Mark my words. It will never happen for you until you get in business. That's it. That's it. Okay, that's it. You got to be in business to be successful at business. I was talking with one of my students and soon to be one of our and one of the owners of their own RBBS Logistics Learning Center, Ms. Jen Williams, the other day, and we were talking about. Let me check my time because this is going to be short today. Okay, we were talking about the subject came up. This pretty much the same subject came up, and we were talking about opportunities. Just in this industry alone, there is so many opportunities to make money within this industry. Like Darren and I, we just created another opportunity, not just for us, but for the brokerage firms that we go in and we consult with. We create an opportunity that takes them from zero, from where they're at right now, from a struggling brokerage firm, from a brokerage firm that doesn't have any shipping, from a brokerage firm that is not booking any loads, brokerage firm that has no revenue. We're taking these startup brokerage firms or these struggling brokerage firms, and within the first 2 years, we're taking them, by creating an opportunity for them, we're taking them from zero to $2.5 to $5 million within the first year, within the first 2 years in revenue. And then by year 5 or 6, $20 to $40 million in revenue. By year 10, $500 million to $1 billion plus per year in revenue. That's what our new consulting firm does. We work with these small brokerage firms, these startup brokerage firms, these brokerage firms that have no way of competing with the big brokerage firms that are already out there, because you can't, because you're small. You don't have the kind of money they have. You can't, look, you can't pay your people the same way they pay their people. So why is your payment plan just like theirs? It makes no sense. You can't afford that. Okay? You can't operate like they operate. They have more people. They have more staff. They have more money. You know, so you have to operate in ways that benefit or that is conducive or compatible to you as a small firm, to you as a firm that really has no money starting out. And that's what our proprietary system does. Our strategic system does when we come in, we apply all these proprietary strategies that I came up with when I ran my brokerage firm, you know, from the ground up. First year made $7.6 million. First year brokerage firm. That's right. I did that with my first year brokerage firm. Why? Because I did not try to compete. I did not try to operate. I did not try to hire. I did not try to compensate my people like the big brokerage firm and every other brokerage firm in the country was doing. I had to create an operating system, a compensation plan, okay, a recruitment plan, a shipper acquisition plan. I had to create all those strategies from scratch that were compatible with my small brokerage firm that didn't have much money. And that's what we do when we come into your brokerage firm. If you decide to hire us as your consultants, we come into your brokerage firm and we take you and we guide you. We implement these things and we make sure that you are on track to hit those numbers first 2 years, fifth and sixth year, and year 10 when our time is up within your brokerage firm. By that time, we got you well in the mix so you can actually be competitive with the TQL, who did $9 billion last year. But you can be competitive with the C.H. Robinson, who is on track to do $32 billion this year. That's right, look it up. TQL wasn't even on the scene 10, 12 years ago. They wasn't even in existence 12 years. They just literally came on the scene about 11 years ago. And here it is, 10 years later, their revenue is $9.2 billion in revenue. I take that back. That was by in June of this year, they were already at $6 billion. So they're probably going to hit 12 or 13 billion this year. And that's not something that's, you know, that's a fluke or the abnormal. Brokerage firms are at the top of the food chain when it comes to revenue. But here's the thing. Independent brokerage firms, about 89.9% of them go out of business their first year. First year brokerage firms, small independent brokerage firms make up the largest number of new brokerage firms every year. Those same brokerage firms, those independent small brokerage firms, also make up the largest number of brokerage firms that go out of business within the first year. 89.9% of them. So only about 11% of the new independent brokerage firms make it to year 2. And those that make it to year 2, that 11.2% that makes it to year 2, about 60% of them go out of business before the 3rd year. Because they just can't sustain what they're trying to do because they're trying to compete with those big, large brokerage firms. And the way they're doing it, they're trying to do it with the same business structure, the same business model, the same compensation plan, the same way they hire, the same way they recruit, the same way they pay their people. You can't do that. You're not going to make it. All right? But opportunities are out there. There are opportunities that are running up and down this highway of opportunity every single day, every single minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But guess what? If you're sitting in the house on your butt, on your computer, thinking about going out there and standing on the road where opportunity is going by, if you're sitting in your house praying about, boy, I wish opportunity would come right here and knock down my door and run through my house and jump right on top of me, how the hell is that going to happen? That ain't going to happen. The road with opportunities on it is out there. It's outside of the comfort zone of where you are. It's not in your house. It's not sitting in that seat with you when you're on the computer just doing research. It's not on YouTube with you when you're just listening and saying, well, you know, I'm listening to people talk about opportunity. I'm listening to people talking about this. I'm listening to people talking about that. I'm listening. I'm learning. That's not where opportunity is. You got to get up, get your behind out of your comfort zone, go out there and stand on the side of the road where opportunity is passing by every day, because that's the only way you're going to catch one of those vehicles of opportunities. You got to be in the lane where opportunities are present, where they're passing by every single day. If you're not in that lane, guess what? You ain't gonna never catch no opportunity. You ain't gonna never catch no ride that is full of opportunities. You're gonna forever be sitting in your house, looking out your window. Well, look at all them opportunities out there. I wish I could. There go another one. Damn, I wish I could have got that. Like Tiffany say, that's right. You got to jump off that porch. You got to jump off the porch. Okay, you got to jump off the porch. You got to get out there where opportunities are. Our students, they're all off that porch. They're in that lane where opportunities are. That's why when I come up with stuff, when Darren comes up with stuff, when Ms. Jen Williams comes up with stuff, when all the owners of the RBBS legislation comes up with stuff, we make it available to the people who are within our network, because why? They are where opportunities are passing by. They are where opportunities are being thought of every single day. They are where we are coming up with these different concepts within the industry. We are constantly identifying a need, and we're creating a solution to cater to and solve those needs. That is how you create opportunity. Darren and I saw a need. All these young brokerage firms were going out of business. All these young brokerage firms were on Facebook and LinkedIn talking about, I can't sign no shipping. How do you sign up shipping? Where do I find shipping? How do I do this? How do I hire my people? How do I pay my people? How do I do this? How come I can't make no money? How do I book freight? How do I get carriers to sign up with me? How do I do a carrier packet? How do I do a shipper onboarding packet? That's a need. When you see a lot of stuff like that going on and people going out of business left and right in the same type of industry, that is a need. That's an industry, that is an industry-wide need that needs to be solved. And that's what we did. We solved that through the creation of our consulting firm, our corporate consulting. And not only did we solve the need, we made the need affordable for everyone who wants to have it. Why? Because we have two ways that you can contract us. One is through a 10-year contract where you pay nothing up front. Absolutely zero. You don't pay us a dime up front. We only make money when we get you to the point where you are making money. So if you're not making money, guess what? We're not making money. Very simple, right? Very simple. And then we're not knocking your head off. We're only asking for 6.5% of your broker's revenue, your broker's fee. That's before you pay anybody else. That's before taxes. That's if your broker's fee is $600 average on each load, then we get 6.5% of that. Okay, that's very affordable for everyone. No money up front. We only get paid when you make money. It's performance based. If we don't perform, you don't make money. If we perform, you make money, then we make money. Very simple, simple plan. Very simple, merger and partnership. Now, there's a second way that you can contract us. A 2-year contract. If you don't want to be tied to us for 10 years, if you don't want us walking with you, holding your hand, guiding your people, hiring your people, recruiting your people, overseeing your compensation plan for the next 10 years, then contract us for 2 years. If you contract us for 2 years, you're going to have to pay a $20,000 retainer up front. Why? Because we're worth that. Because we're going to go in and we're going to divulge our proprietary intellectual property on how we do these things, because we are trademarked, and those strategies are part of our intellectual property. Those strategies are proprietary strategic plans that we put together, and we use a lot of different them, and we merge them together the way normal people would not merge them together to make all this happen. So if you contract us for a short period of time, that 2-year contract, we'll come in, we'll set up your hiring campaign, we'll do your manage your Indeed recruiting campaign. We'll get you 60 to 120 people working within your firm within the first year. We will train them every week. We have training for your people. We'll oversee your compensation plan. Make sure it's running the way, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, allowing you to keep 67 to 68% of your broker's fee with Every other brokerage firm out there only keeps about 30% of the brokerage fee because you're smaller, so you have to be able to keep more of your brokerage fee. But at the same time, you still got to be able to pay your people good money. That's what our proprietary strategic plan does. Okay, so on that short-term contract, you will pay us $20,000 on the upfront retainer, and then we get 3.5% of your brokerage fees and your monthly revenue each month for the next 2 years while we're training your people, recruiting your people, building, scaling your firm, and doing all that great stuff for you, getting you to that within that first 2 years, getting you to that $2.5 to $5 million in revenue your first 2 years. But after that, you're on your own. And with every contract, and before we even talk with you, we pick up you call us up and say, hey, I want to talk to you about this consulting thing. Great. We'll tell you about what we have like about a 5-minute conversation on the phone, but then we'll schedule a live Zoom call with you and your executive staff. Okay. Now, before we do that, we send you an NCND, non-disclosure, non-compete, agreement that you have to sign. If you don't sign that, we don't talk. Okay. It's just that simple. Everybody that we discuss our proprietary information with, everybody that we even have the initial talk about before we even do contracts, you must sign an NCND. Okay? If that's not signed, we don't talk. Just that simple. Okay? All right. So there you have it. I'm about out of time, but it was not going to be a long time. Just so I got about 5 minutes. So there's my answer to what gave me the confidence to start my own dispatch firm. I got tired of being broke. I got tired of being hungry. I got tired of being homeless. And as you all can see now, I'm not homeless anymore. I mean, come on, I'm not homeless anymore. I'm not broke anymore. I'm not tired anymore. I don't, but you don't get to here without going to a place of uncomfortability. You can't get to this stage by staying in your comfort zone. You can't. If you talk to every self-made millionaire out there, they will tell you, every self-made millionaire out there will tell you, in order to be successful, you must operate in an area that is uncomfortable. Look it up. Look it up. In order to be truly successful and self-sufficient and financially independent, you must operate in areas that are uncomfortable. Because a job is comfortable, but a job is never going to make you financially independent. A job is comfortable, but a job is never going to make you a self-made millionaire. A job is comfortable, but a job is never going to put you in control of your own financial life and your own financial, it's never going to put you in control of your own time. Because you are trading those things for comfort, for the comfort of a check each week, for comfort of getting up and going to the same place to work every day, for the comfort of doing the same old thing over and over and over, because that's all you have to do to get that check each week. You are trading those things for that comfort. In order to get those things that you really want, independence, financial freedom, success, more money, more time, you gotta make the other trade. You gotta get rid of that comfortability. See what I'm saying? You gotta get rid of that and get into an area that's uncomfortable so you can gain those things. All right, there you have it. All right, everybody. Look, let me switch back over here real quick to my load board, and we're gonna look at some. Look at the freight count just went up. I'm in Texas. Freight count just went up to 2,077. I'm in Texas. Looks like in Georgia and in Alabama, it's still the same thing. Let's look at some of the rates over here in Texas. See what the rates are doing. On the 2,077 loads in Texas. We got about how much time we got? How am I doing on time? All right, 9:59. I've got a private consultation at 9:15. I'm gonna need at least about 10 minutes to prepare for that. All right. So what we got over here with freight rates, let's look at the estimated rate per mile, as we always do, because that's a true indication of what a rates are really paying. Oh, we got some pretty good paying freight here. We got a heavyweight load that's 64,000 pounds that's going from League City, Texas to Baytown, Texas. Right? And look, people, that's only 23 miles, 23 trip miles. That's a good heavy freight load. Okay. It's paying $800, but it's a short run. $34.78 per mile. Okay, $38.76 per mile, 23 miles. Go ahead and make the run, make that good money, then go grab something else. Okay. We got another load leaving from Fort Worth, Texas, going to Dallas, Texas. It's a van and or reefer. 34 trip miles. It's only 16,000 pounds, very light. $400, paying $11.76 a pound. You can grab that load and run more freight. Okay, grab that load, run more freight. Here's a long haul load, Galveston, Texas to Commerce City, Colorado. Now, if you do not like the mountain, if you can't drive in mountains, don't take that run. Listen, this is what I'm telling you. If you cannot drive in mountainous terrain, do not take that run. It's 1,085 miles. And when you hit Oregon, when you hit Colorado, you ain't got nothing but mountains. And I think you got to go through the Ashley Mountains to get to Commerce City. I ran that route a lot. I'm pretty sure you got to go through the Ashley Mountains. The Ashley Mountains, if you look it up, it's not something that you're going to see on Google as the Ashley Mountains. It's an area that goes between when you first get into Colorado and you're going up towards Portland, right? But I think Commerce City is just on the other side of Portland. In Colorado, Oregon, here. But it's an area called the Ashley Mountains, where you really got 11 mountains. There's 11 mountains between you and your destination. And you're up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm talking about mountains that have I ain't talking about no 5, 6, 7, 8 grade, mountains. I'm talking about 11, 12, 11 and 10, 11, 12 grades. Woo! Mountains, like creeping up. And then you Jake braking, you downshifting, you engine braking, you tap braking, you doing it all. Coming down that mountain every step of the way. I mean, you running this sequence. Bum, 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 bum. Tap, 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 tap. Bum, 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 bum. Tap, 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 tap. Now, those of you who drive trucks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because that's how you drive trucks in the mountains. So if you're not comfortable in the mountains, don't take that run. Because you're probably going to wind up killing yourself. Okay? If you're not comfortable in the mountains, don't take that run because you're probably going to wind up killing yourself. All right? Because that's a dangerous run, really. But it's good money. $9,400. It's going to take you probably pretty much of the week to run that, because when you get in the mountains, it's going to be slow going, baby. And it's heavy. It's heavyweight. 89,000 pounds. So yeah, that is going to take you all week long. It might take you a week and a half to 2 weeks just to run that little 1,100 miles. So is that a good load? Probably not. Not for that kind of money. Not for that kind of money. $8.60 a mile at 89,000 plus pounds, almost 90,000 pounds, and it's up in Commerce City, Colorado. That's not good money. That's not good money, because you're probably going to take you the better part of a week and a half to almost 2 weeks to run it. So that is not good money. It's not at all. Because you're going to spend most of that in fuel. Time is going to eat up probably the rest of it. So don't misjudge these loads without knowing how to evaluate them. Okay, this is what we teach our students, how to evaluate freight. You got a couple of looks like dedicated loads here. From Cleveland, Texas to Houston, Texas is a 49-mile trip mile, very, very low trip mile. Yep, that's dedicated. Runs on the 20th, 21st, and the 22nd. It's paying $8.16 per mile, $400 for running that little 49 miles, and that is a flatbed. That's a dedicated. Okay, so you got some pretty good runs in here. You just got to know how to evaluate them, know what to look for when you're going through here. Now, by us partnering with a brokerage firm. This is the brokerage firm that we are partnering with. The RBBS LLC corporate consulting has partnered with this brokerage firm. The contracts are signed. We are now actively managing their brokerage firm and guiding them to scaling their business. We're starting their recruitment campaign here probably within the next week. We're making calls to shippers. Their bond goes active in 9 days. Their bond and their authority goes active in 9 days. So we are already in the works of working with them and getting them to that $2.5 to $5 million within the first 2 years, that $20 million to $40 million within 5 to 6 years, and that $500 million to $1 billion plus a year by year 10. Okay, so we are actively representing this brokerage firm right now as consultants, and so therefore, pretty soon, our network, the National Dispatchers Network, will have in-house freight to pull from. Okay, so this, by us being with this brokerage firm, we are now going to have access to in-house freight. Because as we sign on shippers to get them freight, now dispatchers within our network, they don't have to always depend on load boards for freight. They can come directly to this company, Methods Logistics, and get some in-house freight. By the way, this company has their own cargo ship. That's right. They have their own cargo ship. So we're going to be helping them with their intermodal stuff and their freight forwarding stuff that they're bringing from overseas, helping them to get stuff booked on their cargo ship, because for every cargo container that goes on the ship, they get paid money. Okay, so we're gonna have quite a bit of freight when we're working with this company. We're gonna take this company to some big heights. Keep your name, keep this company's name on the edge of your mind, because you don't know them yet, but I promise you, within 2 to 5 years, you're gonna really notice them. You're gonna start seeing them all over the place. You're gonna start seeing their loads everywhere, on load boards. You're gonna start seeing, intermodal stuff at the ports, all types of stuff. By the time and they're also doing auto haul. By the time we're done with this company, they're gonna be competing directly with the TQL, the CH Robinson, and the likes of those. Okay, because that's what we do. All right, that's it, y'all. That's it for the load board report for the day. Look, I really appreciate you all for joining me and supporting me throughout these years. What, 6, 7 years now? Wow. And the RBBS is just another center, is just getting bigger and better. We are becoming a network of training platforms. You got Miss Jen Williams' training platform. You have Darren Stevens, his training platform is coming on board. Tasha Watson, her training platform. Ms. Barbara Caldwell, her training platform. Mr. Hoskins, the gentleman who owns this company, his training platform is coming. Because, oh yes, he became an owner of the RBBS Logistics and Centers too. So he's getting his trademark for his own RBBS Logistics and Center as well. Look, people who know how to recognize successful opportunities, they don't have a problem with jumping off that porch. They don't have a problem with getting in business. They don't have a problem with pulling the trigger, making that decision. You ever wonder why people like that always seem to be successful? But when people who are always talking about, well, I've been learning about this stuff. I've been thinking about this stuff. I've been watching these seminars and webinars on this stuff. I'm on the fence. You notice how they ain't never really those people don't make no money. Those people are not very successful at anything that they do because they sitting on that doggone fence. You can't be successful sitting on a fence, man. You can't do it. You can't do it. There's no way possible for you to be successful sitting on a fence. You got to get in the game. You can't score a touchdown sitting on the sideline. You can't score no baskets sitting on the bench. Okay? You can't do it. It's just not possible. It cannot be done. So my advice to you all is get off the fence. Get off the sideline. Get in the game. Get off the bench. Get in the game. Okay? Get off the fence, people. All right, that's going to do it. I thank you all. for joining me for the load board report. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for the load board report. I think tomorrow we have more time. Just that I've got some stuff that got backed up for today that I really have to do. Got people who already scheduled their private consultations for the day. My private consultation usually run Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, so I'm pretty much booked up from that 10:15 until about 4 o'clock on those days doing my private consultations. A lot of people out there want, need some advice, they need some guidance. So we have the private consultation. If you are a brokerage firm and you are just starting up, give us a call, 866-973-6445. That's the number to call us up at extension 1, 866-973-6445. And you want to talk to us about coming into your brokerage firm, make some things happen for you. We can do that for you. We'll sit down with you, go over, what it is we can do for you, exactly how we're going to get you to that level of profitability that we just talked about. And if you decide you want to go with us, contract us, and then we're good to go. Let me show y'all what our thing looks like here. Let's go to Facebook real quick. Let's go to my page real quick and to give y'all a kind of a look at. I can get to this Facebook page. It seems to just be stuck here. All right. Let me stop that. There we go. Pop that back out. All right. This is all right. Come on. Well, Facebook never wants to act right when you need it to act right. Let me refresh it, see what happens. Invoice factory. All right. Hope this. I don't know why this is taking so long. It really should not be taking that long. I got a full set on my internet down here. And why this is taking so long, I do not know. Let me switch over to a different, let me switch over to my Man Cave Metro. But that's what I'm on. Yeah, I'm on Man Cave Metro, but it still wants to act crazy, which is my main server. It's just running slow this morning. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. This is our consulting firm. Okay, this is our consulting firm right here. RBBS, LLC Corporate Consulting for freight broker startups. It is for freight broker startups. Better talent, better culture, measurable results. Give us a call at 866-973-6445. Rebuild your business by building your people. Basically, that's what we do. Our proprietary, and look over here, it says right here, our proprietary freight brokerage restructuring management consulting services are designed to boost your revenue to $2.5 million a year in the first 2 years. Our team of corporate consultants will scale your company, increase your revenue year after year, restructure your compensation plan, recruit and train your agents. With a no upfront fee available option, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Give us a call, 866-973-6445, extension 1 to schedule a free consultation. All right, so there you have it. If you want to, us to take a look at your brokerage firm and let you know what we can do for you. And then if you decide you want to contract with us, and then we will go to work for you. We are currently also hiring, seeking people to become consultants within our firm. Our consultants are gonna, within the first 2 years, are gonna be at a level where they're earning more than $280,000 a year. So keep that in mind if you're looking for an opportunity. There may be a chance for an opportunity. Now, mind you, consultants are paid just like we are paid. They're paid just like everything in this field or with our company is paid. It's performance based. Okay, so everything is predicated to you performing for your client. Everything is about your client. If you're not the type of person that can put yourself second or third and put your client first, do not apply for this position. We don't want you in our company. Okay, everything is about the client. You know, the whole thing is about making the client successful, getting the client to those projected numbers, 2.5 to 5 million first 2 years, 20 million to 40 million on year 5 and 6, half a billion to $1 billion plus by year 10. If you're not dedicated to that, do not apply. We don't want you. Because once you go into these companies and you take them on as a client, you're going to be responsible for the scaling of that company. All right, I got to go, people. Bye, everybody.